comes as a surprise to many that for virtually every stream, lake, river, wetland, estuary, or other sensitive area in British Columbia, there is a group of citizens keeping an eye on it, raising awareness about it, protecting it, and if necessary, restoring it. Stewardship groups in BC have been instrumental in protecting and maintaining important habitat and ecosystems across the province. In fact, when you look at specific cases, it's hard to overstate the importance of what many groups have achieved with their knowledge, passion, and determination.
We are now in the process of transporting sockeye.
Over the last 30 years, groups that started out focusing on one issue or activity have evolved into sophisticated organizations that provide vital services for their communities. The number of groups has also increased substantially in response to ever-growing pressures on natural areas, government cutbacks, and a desire by communities to connect with their surrounding environment. Through mapping, assessment, and ongoing monitoring programs, these organizations have in-depth knowledge of whole watersheds and regions. They have built professional relationships with all levels of government through advocating to protect areas and partnering to carry out restoration projects. At the same time, the groups have maintained their presence on the ground by incorporating, indeed relying on, volunteers to help with their various projects. Many also offer a wide variety of high-quality and popular education programs for children, adults, and the whole family. As a result of their accessibility and presence in the community, residents tend to call them first when they see something going wrong. It's important to note that stewardship groups across the province conduct their programs with incredibly small budgets. They rely on astounding amounts of dedication, enthusiasm, and goodwill from staff, volunteers, and the community. As valued as stewardship groups are, they are facing some difficult choices due to a series of colliding circumstances. Like many in the nonprofit sector, they are making do with fewer dollars. But the real problem is the form the funding comes in. Many funders provide one-time funding for specific projects, but do not provide for general administrative or infrastructure costs. This has left groups vulnerable to project overextension, staff burnout, and high volunteer turnover. In response to this funding problem, the Stewardship Centre for BC initiated a program in 2007 called StewardshipWorks. It provided 3 years of core funding to 10 groups across the province. Qualifying organizations received $2,500 or $5,000 each year for operational expenses. They were asked to record their expenditures and the impacts the funding had on their organizations. While the funding amounts were small, groups noted that the impacts were significant because the funds were guaranteed for 3 years and their allocation was flexible. Organizations reported that they were able to recruit and train new volunteers and retain staff who had already developed a great deal of expertise. The funds were also used for basic needs, such as heat for buildings, administration, staff training, board development, and attending and hosting important meetings and events. There were other important impacts. Groups produced better programs, enhanced their presence in the community, and reported healthier working conditions due to reduced stress. Most importantly, they were able to have greater positive results for habitat and increase stewardship awareness throughout their communities. As a result of the success of StewardshipWorks, the Stewardship Centre for BC is exploring ways of expanding this program and sustaining it into the future to deliver core funding to stewardship groups across the province. Stewardship groups have become our connection to the natural areas around us. Their careful collection of long-term data, dynamic education programs, and cultivation of good working relationships with government and professionals mean they have built up tremendous social value. And beyond this, they have the ability to realize enormous potential, reaching out to a wider audience and ensuring that sensitive areas are understood and protected. With this gap in funding addressed, the Stewardship Centre for BC expects positive impacts to multiply, strengthening the stewardship sector, and in turn, the ability of communities to value and protect ecosystems across British Columbia.